It's a practice, just to allow the words to come. When they want to, in their own order and sequence, combination. Rather than the mind saying, this is what I should talk about. And can we live our lives like that? Just trusting the guidance that comes from deep within. Comes from clear mind rather than, you could say, surface mind. Planning and organizing. Plotting and scheming. Always in movement on the surface. Such a frequency of movement and change and categorizing and labeling, dictating the body's behaviors and movements and actions. But when we begin to slow down and begin to practice listening, we could start to tune in to see, wait, is that what I want to do right now? Do I really need to go to the fridge and find something to eat? If that's what happens, it's fine. But just to have that open curiosity. Do I really want to speak right now? Or does it feel good to be silent? And just rest in myself until I know from somewhere deep inside, not so much here, more like here. Somewhere deep inside determines, before I even am aware of it, that words are coming out. Or that steps are taken. Action is initiated. Excuse me, and God bless me. God bless me. God bless me with the ability to listen, to be guided. Because once we begin to actualize this habit of listening and of kind of, you could say, being moved from within, we begin to feel that the blessing from God, from the universe, is ever present. Ever present, always now. When we're listening to the guidance, that means we are in the moment. We're not comparing to the past or projecting into the future with the sense of doership. I am the doer. There's more of the allowance. Okay, if the body's meant to do that, it'll do that. I know I have to get my tickets, so that's going to happen. There's like a trusting without haste, without pushing. That was a big one for me personally, this energy of pushing, of being pushed from somewhere in my psyche, somewhere in my consciousness, would make me kind of fast, and that's part of the character. So we all have our different character traits, our unique makeup. But there's an element of discomfort in it. So for me, for this one, some of the work is listening to like, oh, slow down, Jaya. You don't need to go so fast. Or it's not a rush. Or what is the fear of? What is there? What is propelling this speed? Is it coming from some element of trying to get away from? Or trying to get closer to? Because it's only now. There really is only now. That's wild, right? Imagine you could believe that in this moment. And of course you can. There's only now. And of course I remind myself of this while I say it. You know, it's just such a potent and beautiful and always welcome reminder for me. Because it's spot on. There's no prior moment. There's no successive moment. There's only this. You gotta be a ninja. You know? Like in the video game, right? In another video we spoke about how life is like a video game. And we're all ninjas. Running through our own little, you know, our own little, I don't know enough about video games. Level 3. I'll just use some like Super Mario shit. Like, you know, anyway, going through our own little dream world, our own little version, doing our tasks on the day to day and dealing with our obstacles, opportunities. And we're ninjas because we have to be so alert to be present. It's not like a task. It's not like a sense of doing. That's coming from my ego, coming from mind. There's like a pushing quality or a pulling quality. But this kind of ninja is just like, with what is. When we're tuned in to a certain level of ninja-ness, we start to perceive like subtleties, such as the sense of doing, the sense of task, the sense of, oh man, that's a lot of work to stay present all the time. It's like, no, we actually see it's the flip side. It's like, wait, staying present, that's my natural state. That's how babies are. That's how babies are. This whole thing isn't about becoming some high holy something something. It's about being like a baby, just being natural, fresh, alive, dynamic, unself-conscious, pure, essentially me. So we recognize with our ninja eyes that the doing is the past, is the future. That's the work. It just feels automatic because we're so used to it. And we're living in a world that moves like that, at that pace. Always in chase. Kind of feel like rhyming, but I don't got no beat behind me. But I got the heartbeat right now. Speaking of the heartbeat, a lot of us, we need an anchor. We need a tool, like a tangible tool. And what's more tangible than a part of the body, than a sensation? And the heart is such an amazing tool, such an amazing center of energy to come back to, because it usually tells us the truth about how we feel. But it doesn't tell us the storified version of the truth. Drop my little piece of malachite, which I just happen to be holding, and it's green, which is the color of the heart chakra. Ramakrishna, great Indian saint, says from the 19th century, from Bengal, says the heart is the living room of God. And to come back to here, to bring our awareness back here, helps us to tune into ourself on a holistic level, without the story as much, just the sensation. It's like I said, the heart will tell us the truth. Is it feeling open and receptive, like a beautiful golden chalice, receiving all that is on offer, with gratitude and humility? Or is it maybe contracted in this moment, feeling kind of hard, feeling kind of shut down? And we could just come back here throughout the day, It's good to have a regular practice, for sure. So even if it's just 5 minutes a day, any time of day. Mornings are good for most of us, but maybe before bed, maybe on break at work, or before getting out of the car when you arrive to someplace. But then all throughout the day, just a few seconds here and there, just constantly, whenever you can, just remember, oh, how does my heart feel? Without expectation or demand that it feels a certain way, without judgment or criticism, that it doesn't feel the way we want it to feel. Because the way of the heart is about radical acceptance. It is about openness, receiving what is. So if we're going to speak with the heart, we have to speak the language of the heart. If we're going to commune with our innermost self, we have to speak the language of the heart. And the heart is never in the past. The heart is never in the future. The future, of course, is just a projection of the past. Nothing more. Because you can't have imagination of what might be without having memory of what was. Otherwise, there'd be no content to be like, that might happen next. You know, that was helpful a few years ago or something when I first was like, oh snap, there's no past and future. There's really only past. Trip out. So yeah, using the heart as an anchor in this moment, an anchor in the body. And if you have somewhere else that works for you, that's fine too. But I find the heart exceptionally powerful, centering, enlivening, inspiring. Then again, with some practice, just because we have to go against lifetimes of habit, with some practice, when we come to the heart with greater and greater frequency, we know that the real effort is leaving the heart. It's not coming to the heart. The real effort is when we go out, when we externalize. In other words, when we abandon ourselves. But once we stop the game of self-abandonment, as my teacher says, we realize there's no doership in it. It's the most natural thing. Again, like a baby. Like a precious little source of life. Little star of consciousness. A little infant. That's you. That's what you are. You're such a baby. Is there any compliment more sweet, more spot on? You're a baby because this is the only moment that exists. This now is the first now, the only now, the last now. You were just born. Hmm. I wanted to sing a little song. It's I learned it at Dances of Universal Peace, which is a beautiful like circle dance community started by Samuel Lewis. So I say Samuel Davis or Samuel Lewis, I think. Sufi Sam. He was it's like a Sufi thing traditionally, but just using prayers from all different religious traditions and spiritual groups. So it's beautiful. It's a simple movement and simple song. And this one just kind of comes to mind now. It goes. I honor the place in me where the whole universe dwells. I honor the place in you where the whole universe dwells. Namaste, 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 namaste. I honor the place in me where the whole universe dwells. I honor the place in you where the whole universe dwells. Namaste, 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 namaste. Namaste so much. Keep it real out there. Keep it ninja.